In Silicon Valley, there are two types of people, the builders and the talkers. I was a builder. My husband, Mark, was a talker. Together, we created Aura, an artificial intelligence software that could predict stock market trends with 99% accuracy. I wrote every line of code. I spent 4 years in a dark basement, living on energy drinks and anxiety, building the engine that would change the world. Mark bought the nice suits. He went to the investor dinners. He smiled for the cameras and told the world how he had revolutionized finance. I didn't mind. I hated the spotlight, and I trusted him. He was my husband, my partner. We had a deal. 50-50, always. We were weeks away from our IPO, the initial public offering. Aura was valued at $1 billion. We were about to be billionaires. But money does strange things to people. It's like drinking salt water. The more you have, the thirstier you get. Mark started having closed-door meetings with our CFO, Jessica. Jessica was a shark in Louboutins. She looked at me like I was a stain on the office carpet. "Sarah looks tired," she'd say in board meetings, loud enough for everyone to hear. "Maybe she needs a sabbatical." I ignored the red flags. I was too busy debugging the final version of Aura before launch. I didn't realize that while I was fixing the code, they were fixing the paperwork to erase me. It happened on a Friday evening. Mark asked me to come to the boardroom. "Just a quick signature for the IPO filing," he said casually. When I walked in, Jessica was there. So were 2 security guards. No champagne, just a thick stack of papers and a separation agreement. "What is this?" I asked. Mark didn't look me in the eye. He stared at his phone. "Sarah," he said, his voice flat, "the board feels you're no longer the right fit for the company's future. We're pivoting to a sales-focused strategy. Your role is being eliminated." "Eliminated?" I laughed nervously. "Mark, I built this. I am this company." Jessica leaned forward. "Actually, legally speaking, the company owns the code. And since you never signed the updated founders agreement last year, your equity stake is negligible. We're offering you a severance package, $2 million. Sign tonight and leave quietly." $2 million for a billion-dollar company I created. "And if I don't sign?" I asked. "Then we fire you for cause," Mark said, finally looking up. His eyes were ice. "We'll say you were unstable, that you sabotaged the product. We'll ruin your reputation, Sarah. You'll never code again." I looked at my husband, the man I'd shared a bed with for 6 years. He wasn't seeing his wife anymore. He was seeing an obstacle to his fortune. He wanted 100% of the credit and 100% of the money. He thought I was weak, just another tech nerd who'd cry and disappear. He forgot one thing. I didn't just write the code. I lived inside it. I picked up the pen. "Okay, I'll sign." Mark exhaled, relieved. He even smiled. "It's for the best, Sarah, really." I signed the papers and took the check. "One last thing," Mark said. "Your security key, the admin access." I reached into my pocket and handed him the small black USB drive, the supposed master key to the system. "Goodbye, Mark," I said. I walked out of that building and didn't cry until I reached my car. But they weren't tears of sadness. They were tears of anticipation. What Mark and Jessica didn't know is that every great coder has a fail-safe. Mine was called a dead man's switch. 6 months earlier, I'd embedded a hidden subroutine deep in Aura's core kernel, a simple verification protocol.
Every 72 hours, the system required a specific encrypted biometric ping from my personal laptop. If it didn't receive that ping, the system would assume I was dead or locked out. And if the system detected I was locked out, it would initiate Protocol 0. Protocol 0 wasn't a virus. It didn't delete data. That would be illegal. Instead, it encrypted everything. The entire stock prediction algorithm would be scrambled with a 4096-bit encryption key that only I possessed. Without that key, the billion-dollar AI was just a random number generator. Useless. I drove to a cabin in the woods. No internet, no phone signal. I let the 72-hour timer run down. Monday morning was the IPO launch. The New York Stock Exchange bell would ring at 9:30. My dead man's switch was set to trigger at 9:15. I made myself a cup of coffee and watched the clock. 9:14, 9:15, ping. Or rather, no ping. Protocol 0 was active. I wasn't there in person, but I watched the news coverage. It was spectacular. Mark stood on the New York Stock Exchange trading floor in a custom suit, ready to ring the opening bell. The ticker symbol, Aura, glowed on the screens behind him. "We are ready to change the world," he told the CNBC reporter confidently. "Our system is live right now." Back at headquarters, chaos erupted. The live feed of Aura's dashboard suddenly went black. Then a single message appeared on every monitor in the building. User authentication failed. Encryption lock engaged. Contact administrator. The algorithm stopped predicting stocks. Instead, it started spitting out gibberish. It predicted that banana futures would hit $1 trillion, that Apple stock would drop to 0. Pre-market investors panicked. "What's happening?" the reporter asked Mark on live television. "Your system appears to be crashing." Mark's face drained of color. "It's just a glitch," he stammered, "a minor technical hiccup." It wasn't a hiccup. It was a heart attack. Jessica screamed at the engineering team over the phone. "Fix it! Bypass the lock!" "We can't," the engineer yelled back. "It's encrypted at the kernel level. The master key Mark has doesn't work. It's asking for Sarah's biometric signature." By 10 a.m., the IPO was halted. By 11 a.m., the stock price had collapsed before public trading even began. Investors were pulling out. The board was in full meltdown. At 11:30, my burner phone rang. It was Mark. "Sarah," his voice was shaking. "Sarah, what did you do?" "I didn't do anything, Mark," I said calmly. "I'm just an eliminated employee enjoying my sabbatical." "The system is locked. We're losing millions every second. Fix it." "I can't," I said. "I signed a separation agreement. I'm legally barred from touching the code. Remember?" Jessica insisted. "Screw the agreement," he screamed. "5 million? 10 million? I laughed. "You tried to steal $1 billion from me, Mark. You think 10 million fixes this?" Silence. Then, "What do you want?" "I want Jessica fired immediately, publicly." "Done," he said without hesitation. "I want her shares canceled and returned to the company pool." "Done. What else?" "And I want you to resign as CEO today." Long silence. "Sarah, I can't," I interrupted. "Then the encryption stays, and tomorrow Aura is worth 0. You'll face fraud charges for selling a product that doesn't work. The SEC will have a heyday." He had no choice. Mark resigned at noon. The board reinstated me as CEO by 1 p.m. I logged in remotely, entered my 64-character password, and the system unlocked instantly. The algorithm resumed. The stock rebounded. We closed the day with a valuation north of $900 million. I'm the CEO of Aura now. The company is thriving under my leadership. No more flashy suits and empty promises, just solid engineering and honest business. Mark, he's currently buried in lawsuits from investors who lost money during the IPO collapse. Turns out, being the face of a company means taking the blame when it all falls apart. He tried to be the face of genius, but he forgot one thing: a face is nothing without a brain.